please stay standing and join me in the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red sorry about that. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Class of 2020, please be seated.
Good evening and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Charles Page High School class of 2020. It has been a long, unusual journey to get here, and we all made it. Whew. We could spend a long time looking back at the events of the last several months: coronavirus, global pandemic, social distancing, quarantining, and school closure. But honestly, I think we're all done with that. Personally, I'm ready to celebrate these 445 graduates of the class of 2020. These students are more prepared for the trials and tribulations of adulthood than any class in our history, because of the hardships that they have already endured. These graduates have a story to tell their children and grandchildren. It's a story of frustration and disappointment in the beginning, ending with new strength and unity in the end, because of what they have gone through and triumphed over together. Congratulations, graduates. You are a class for the ages, and none of us will ever forget any of you. There are just a few people I need to thank before we get on to honoring our graduates. My counseling, administrative, and office staff has been creative, resourceful, and persistent in making this event happening. You know how it is around the house when you got a big job to do, you got two choices. You can either pay somebody else to do it or do it yourself. And that's the way it is here. We decided that we could do this and observe some level of social distancing for our graduates and do it better here on our own campus than to pay somebody else to do it, so here we are. And in past years, we paid somebody else to do the work for us, and like this year, my crew worked really hard to make all this happen. Like our graduates, these people have faced challenges, and I'm thankful for how they've hung in there, dug in, changed gears, and changed the way that we have done graduation around here for years. So, thank you. So please indulge me as I thank my assistant principals, Tim Ray and Ryan Biven. Special Services Coordinator Carrie Schlehuber and Counselors Sandy Franklin, Kendra Roulette, and Megan Elliott. My office staff of Karen James, Carrie Carpenter, Bridget Beard, Kathy Burge, Stephanie Talley, and Sherry Painter. Michael Bynum and his entire maintenance crew who set this whole rigmarole up tonight. Andrea Bays for printing support, and Jason Anderson and Randy Evans for all of their hard work. We appreciate it. Thank you also to the Charles Page High School faculty seated here on the sidelines, and indeed to all of the teachers, many of whom might be with us tonight up in the stands. You have all played a huge role and vital role in the lives of these young people, getting them here today. I would also like to thank Superintendent of Schools Sherry Durkee and the Board of Education that includes Bo Noggle, Whitney Wagers, Mike Mullins, Rusty Gunn, and Jackie Wagnon. But you know, the real stars today are these graduates, the Charles Page High School class of 2020. This class takes its place proudly among all of the graduates who have walked this path prior to them. They are a uniquely talented and motivated group, and I cannot wait to witness all of the great things that they will accomplish in their bright futures. Here's an impressive statistic that I am confident that no other high school principal can say about their graduates. Of the 435 members of this graduating class, 423 of them completed a senior capstone experience, either by earning college credit through concurrent enrollment or advanced placement tests, or completing advanced technical training at Tulsa Tech or through CTE at CPHS, or by serving a work internship in a selected career pathway. These guys are ready for the world ahead of them, and almost all of them have already taken the first very bold steps into the world of college and careers. Please let me take a moment and recognize some of these graduates who have achieved truly great things. The State Department of Education offers its highest award as Oklahoma Academic Scholar. These are students who have scored a 27 or higher on the ACT, which is impressive indeed, and have also achieved a 3.7 or higher unweighted GPA during their 4 years of high school. I am very pleased that this group includes 30 Oklahoma Academic Scholars. So if you are an Oklahoma Academic Scholar, please rise to be recognized. You may be seated. The highest academic achievement that we offer at Charles Page High School is honor graduate. We do not award a salutatorian or valedictorian because the grade point divisions between students of that caliber are so minutely thin, so we recognize all students as honor graduates who have achieved over a 4.0 grade point average for 4 years, have completed a 4x4 curriculum of social studies, science, math, and English over 4 years of high school, have attempted and completed at least one advanced placement class in each of their 4 years, and have completed an impressive community service requirement during high school. So please stand, honor graduates, as I read each of your names individually, and remain standing until the entire group has been recognized. Alyssa Alexander. Erica Baker. Victoria Baker. Sydney Boyd. Hunter Carlisle. Annabelle Catherman. Kylie Clark. Elizabeth Colson. Braden Dahl. Demi DeShazo. Reagan Foster. Sloan Goggin. Rachel Jones. Brooke Kester. Garrett Lincoln. Summer Long. Ethan Lonan. Tori McAllister, Alyssa Miller, Raylyn Mong, James Moran, Thomas Noggle, Courtney Pidcock, Stacia Rainey, Kirsten Roberts, Deja Ruland, Emily Schlehuber, Samuel Smith, Emily Spencer, Andy Tan, Presley Turner, Taylor Spencer. I'm sorry, her sister graduated. I'm sorry. Taylor, I've messed you up all day. I'm sorry. Riley Turner, Chloe Wallace, Annabeth Wiebe, and Wanajiska Williams. Thank you. You may be seated. Ashley Hale. I am sorry. Thank you, Ashley. She was not on my list. The last group we would like to recognize and offer up a very special thanks is all of our members of this senior class who have made the decision to serve our country in the United States Armed Forces. Please rise so that we can recognize you. You may be seated. Good luck, Godspeed, and thank you for your service. Now, Superintendent of Schools Sherry Durkee will address the graduates, followed by honor graduates Erica and Victoria Baker and Emily Schlehuber.
Good evening, seniors of 2020. I am so proud of you today. My journey as superintendent started in Sand Springs when you began your high school adventure as freshmen. And what an adventure it has been. When you were at the Central 9th Grade Center, some of you staged a walkout to protest school violence. As sophomores, some of you stood beside your teachers in a walkout to support our education system for 10 solid days, marking a turning point for education in the state of Oklahoma. As juniors, you experienced a tragic flood that stole the homes of some of your classmates and ended school abruptly at the end of the year. Many of you served in the cleanup of that flood, of aiding your friends and neighbors in our great city. This year, as seniors, you are in the midst of experiencing the COVID-19 pandemic, learning how to handle abrupt changes as we all learn how to maneuver in this current situation. All the while, you are steadfast in completing the requirements for this momentous occasion, graduation from Charles Page High School. I commend you for your strength, your courage, your tenacity, your perseverance, and your positive spirit through it all. There is no doubt you are ready for what is to come. There will be more challenges in your life. What you have learned beyond the curriculum in the classroom will serve you well. Remember always to keep your mind challenged, your heart inspired, and allow lifelong learning to empower you. Mostly, inspire hearts, and you will inspire the world. Congratulations, seniors.
Bright. Hi everyone, thank you for joining us tonight as we celebrate the graduates of 2020. Our 13-year marathon is over. Sorry. For those of you who don't know us, my name is Erica. No, I'm gonna be Erica today. No. We talked about this at home. I'm Erica.
But, like, one final switch, you know?
No. Okay. Well, that means I'm Victoria. This is probably why so many people refer to us as the twins. I'm sure many of you thought we might not be here tonight, whether that be from Corona stopping a gathering this large, or maybe you just weren't doing too hot in one of your classes. All that really matters is that we're here to celebrate our accomplishments over the past 4 years, and to celebrate the start of a new race that many of us may find to be exciting yet challenging. The last 4 years, we proudly raced in Sandite Black and Gold and raced alongside our teammates who became more than just faces in a yearbook. They became our friends and our family. Being a part of a team has taught us how to be involved, how to be leaders, and how to enjoy every step of the race, no matter how hard it seems, because amidst the difficulties, Sandites will always be there. It's through teamwork that our student body raises money every year for Special Olympics. We're there for each other when we need help on our chemistry homework or when we just need a friend to talk to. Sandites work as a team to host school dances and win state championships. But we're more than just a team, we're a community and a family on and off the field. I know throughout my academic as well as athletic career, I would have not succeeded with the accomplishments I have without the unconditional support of my friends and family, coaches, and teachers. Teachers and family, we would like to thank you for your guidance and encouragement throughout our years. Without you, many of us would not be here tonight. For all of us, there is that one special person that impacted you and helped you. Think of them and remember to thank them after we are gone. They deserve it. For me, that special mentor was my cross-country coach. In 8th grade, I started running track, and for some reason I ran the 400, and I can tell you now, I am definitely not a sprinter. Everybody knows that. At one of my track meets, an old man wearing a bucket hat and a stopwatch around his neck came up to me after my race and said 2 things. 1, to run the mile next meet, and 2, he wanted me to come join the high school cross-country team next year because he thought I'd make a good distance runner. Frankly, I was just excited that the mayor of Sand Springs was talking to me. I just joined because I didn't want to ride the bus home anymore. Anyways, I joined cross-country and I instantly fell in love with running. No matter what happened throughout my running career, I could always go to Papa Burge, and I have no doubt that I will always be able to count on him to give me an inspirational speech when I'm feeling down. Just as many of you went to your favorite mentor or teacher. I once complained about having to do hill repeats to get faster, and Burge said, "But Erica, you'll never know what it's like to walk the high grounds until you run the hills." And in life, I've found that to be true. Coach Burge, you're an inspiration to me to be a better teammate, Christian, runner, and just overall to be a better person. I'll be lucky to have a coach like you in college. I just want to let all of the coaches and teachers here know that we notice all you do for us, such as letting us eat in lunch in your classrooms, buying us breakfast before a long drive to an early meet, always keeping cool water for us to drink during the hottest days, and even helping us on homework during a meet or game. We notice it, and we wouldn't be the athletes or students we are without you. We all have special moments and memories with that one teacher who put in a little extra effort to see us succeed. Not all of us have a coach who made a special impact in our lives, but everyone has a teacher, a friend, or a family member who helped you to become the person you are today. From the lunch ladies who work every day to make sure we have the necessary food needed for our day, to our counselors who pick us up when we need a pep talk, and to our teachers who educate us regarding not only school, but life lessons we will cherish forever. They help Sandites prepare and win races every day. Like Erica, I would also like to thank my coaches. This year was one crazy ride for many of us, and you guys were always there for me. From scheduling senior photos to wiping my tears away, you guys have always had my best interest at heart. Off the field, however, it is family who pushes us to make the decisions that we choose to make. True family will always be there for you, no matter how annoying or frustrating they may be. Don't point at me. Parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, thank you all for your patience, unending love, and support. We know you all spent countless hours working the concession stands, raising money through fundraisers, helping your student with homework, and putting our needs before your own. My beautiful mother once told me to be the best I could be in life and not to worry about competing with anyone else. Graduates of 2020, as you set out on your new race, I tell you the same thing. Compete with no one, but strive to be the best you and shine. What matters most is that we continue to move forward and never stop learning. As a cross-country runner, I've learned a course is marked with flags. Runners can't choose to cut corners or shorten the race. They must run the path that is marked out for them. Sometimes it can be hard to keep moving when it seems like you're in last place. But remember, in the race of life, you are your only competitor. Run your race at your own pace. At the 1968 Olympics, an hour after the men's marathon winner crossed the finish line, Tanzania's John Stephen Akwari limped across the finish line, injured in a fall early on in the race. When asked why he didn't quit, he said, "My country didn't send me 7,000 miles to start this race. My country sent me to finish." Sometimes your life, similar to a race, may be filled with pain, but lean on those around you and finish strong. The course is marked for you, and as you run your race, strive to make a difference in someone's life, just as our teachers and family did in our own. Together, we must help each other finish the race and never stop running towards your dreams. Congratulations, class of 2020. We've crossed the finish line.
Like many of you, my entire life I have grown up in the Sand Springs School District. From a young age, we are taught the answer to a question on most people's minds that don't live in Sand Springs. What is a Sandite? The only proper answer to this question is that a Sandite is the person you want to be. Now, this answer is usually followed by a confused stare and an awkward laugh or two, but that doesn't change the fact that it is true. But what does that mean? What characteristics make up the person you want to be? The first characteristic that comes to mind when I think about the kind of person you want to be is someone that cares for others more than themselves. I hope the class of 2020 would agree with me when I say that we felt so celebrated this year despite the fact that the school year did not end the way any of us had planned. The school staff and teachers are the epitome of caring for others more than themselves. It felt like each day there was something new planned in order to celebrate all of us. And all of these new events were on top of what everyone was already doing. But it didn't seem to matter how busy everyone was, because they cared about us and making us feel special. So, thank you all for caring about our memories and our happiness. Who knew that a cap and gown pickup line could be so much fun? Another quality of a Sandite is someone who is kind. They see the needs of others and they meet them, often without having to be asked or getting anything in return. Over the last 2 years, our school has launched a Philanthropy Week where we raise money for charitable causes. Each year, we are humbled and amazed as we watch students donate their last dollars or their lunch money to those who are less fortunate. If that isn't kindness in its truest form, I don't know what is. Another characteristic is someone that goes above and beyond what is expected. We are often the underdogs, but that hasn't stopped us from making it to the state tournament or raising $17,000 for Gold Week this year. This year we had to get really creative to raise money for Gold Week when everything had to go online, but we discovered that there's a pretty awesome boy band within the faculty of CPHS. One of the best parts about being a Sandite is the tight-knit community that is always rallying behind us. It was beyond powerful to look into the bleachers each Friday night and see the stands full of black and gold, no matter how far we had traveled. Whether we won or lost, we always knew that our fans would be cheering us on all the way home. Another quality of the person you want to be is strong, or as Mr. Trout likes to say, Sandite tough. Whether it's coming to school despite the freezing temperatures or working on an essay next to a wrecking ball, Sandites are strong and no one can convince me otherwise. Flexibility is another characteristic of the person that you want to be. Someone who can go with the flow and still execute at a high level. This school year was a prime example of flexibility, but it was not the only one that fit into that category. Throughout the 3 years we have spent at Charles Page, we never had a full spring semester. Our sophomore year had a break in the middle for the teacher walkout, but that did not stop us from finishing the year strong and getting caught up on missed instruction. Our junior year, we missed the final 2 days of school, but hey, it was finals week, so I don't think anyone was really complaining. And then, this year, senior year, we lived through a global pandemic, but here we are at graduation, finishing what we started 13 years ago in kindergarten. When we started school all those years ago, we never really imagined that it would end this way. We started as fun and energetic kids on the playground at recess with the same 50 kids we had known our whole lives. Then eventually we made it to the middle school where all of a sudden we were surrounded by 400 kids who all liked to argue about which elementary school was the best. Eventually, these new kids became our best friends and we couldn't imagine life without them. Throughout high school, we all made memories that we're going to miss. Whether it's cheering on the sidelines, marching on the football field, chanting in the locker room before the big game, spending hours at the FFA barn, or preparing for the spring musical. High school was a big part of our lives. Now we sit here with each other for the last time, and we realize that high school was nothing like High School Musical. I mean, come on, we never broke out into song and dance in the middle of the cafeteria. In reality, some parts of high school were hard, but because of that, we have blossomed into caring, kind, hardworking, strong, and flexible young adults ready to take on the world after high school. So, whether the next step in your journey is college, the workforce, or the military, just know that you are prepared. And as Mr. Trout says, you can go anywhere from Charles Page High School. So, what is a Sandite? A Sandite is you and me and anyone that knows that the joy of life is in the journey. A Sandite is the person you want to be. Thank you.
The wind is turning my pages backwards for me. Very nice. Before I award the diplomas, before we allow these students to walk in front of the stage and receive their diploma, just a few stage directions. Tonight is a very big group, and this says a great deal about the quality of this community and how much you guys are invested in these young people and in our schools that we have this many people with us tonight. We have a kind of quick turnaround before the 8 o'clock ceremony, so I don't know how to say this politely, but thank you for coming, but we need you to leave quickly. Now, as they say at closing time, I don't care where you go, you just can't stay here. So as soon as we get through throwing our caps and singing the Alma Mater, we would ask that you exit the stands as quickly as you possibly can. And we'll ask the graduates to exit the stadium as well so that you can have your family gathering and pictures and such out there. Okay, who's ready to have a diploma? We ready for this? All right, here we go. Seniors, today marks the successful culmination of 13 years of school for each of you. That's 13 years of lessons, quizzes and tests, class projects, field trips, bathroom breaks, and roll calls. It's more than just academics. It's been your entire life. It's pep assemblies and games. It's school plays and assemblies. It's practices, rehearsals, and dances. It's growing up together and sharing life's triumphs and tragedies. And now you're here, the final ceremony marking the end, the completion of your final year of high school. Each of you is unique, and each of you had a unique experience at Charles Page High School. Each of you leaves a mark upon each of us that only you could have made. We are proud of you, and we will miss you. Promise me one thing. Promise me that today is not the greatest day of your life. Today's pretty cool, I'll give you that. But promise me that you won't peak at high school. Go forward from this day and achieve great things. Achieve great things as professionals, as husbands and wives, as mothers and fathers, as citizens and neighbors, and as friends. Live lives of service and achievement. Leave the world a better place because you have been in it. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of this country, and take care of this planet. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of where you've come from. Always be proud that you are a Sandite. That makes you different from anyone else. There is not another high school in the world whose mascot is a Sandite. Carry that proudly. But as you retain that pride and that little bit of grit of the Sandite sand in the back of your throat, like we all do, also have the courage to reach out and to explore this wide, beautiful world and make it better. So class of 2020, please rise. On behalf of the Oklahoma State Department of Education, the Sand Springs Board of Education, the faculty and administration of Charles Page High School, I hereby certify that these candidates have completed the requirements for high school graduation and shall receive their diploma from Charles Page High School. All but the first row on each side, please be seated. Mr. Ray and Mr. Biven, please bring forward the first group of graduates.
Michaela Teague Horton.
Jaden Luann Merriman.
Kylie Aaron Clark.
Alyssa Page Clark.
Bethany Mae Sims.
Ashley Nicole Hale.
Kirsten Geneva Roberts.
Demi Diane DeShazo.
Braden Eugene Dahl.
Victoria Michelle Baker.
Sydney Nicole Boyd.
Erica Rochelle Baker.
Quentin Lane Fiery.
Sabrina Nicole Usher.
Kristen Paige Shipley.
Cecilia Janet Norton.
Montana Nicole Garrison.
Tori Jane McAllister.
Jackson Frank Peak.
Elizabeth Michelle Colson.
Angelina Pearl Call.
Darian K. Scoggins.
Emily Janae Caleros.
Brianna Nicole Denton.
Brittany Nicole Bowders.
Madison Marie Sullivan.
Kyle Wayne Patterson.
Montana Skies Beck.
Thomas Page Noggle.
Charles Hunter Carlisle.
Braden Michael Foster. I got you.
Samuel Gordon Smith.
That's supposed to say gorgeous.
Jaden Lee Boyce Weiser.
Ethan Addison Lennon.
Carter Dane Williams.
Andy Mansion Tan.
Summer Leanne Long.
Logan Dean Rogers.
Wanajiska Nicolesy Alicia Lee Williams. Here, baby.
Destiny Nicole Penrod.
Andrew Wolfgang Berryman.
Felicity Shy Horn.
Brandy Sagala.
Isaiah Michael Jordan.
Trinity Danae Dobson.
Madison Paige Gonzalez.
Brooklyn Renee Barnes.
Rhiannon Dale Sellers.
Esai Paul Martine Leatherman.
Tyler Patrick Dobson.
Dylan Robert Cameron.
Hayden Lee Ashcraft.
Derek Edward Silver.
Matthew Mason Blassett II.
Corey Devon Hunter.
Aaron Blaine Koslick.
Terrell LaRon Crawford.
Alyssa K. Alexander.
Dylan Lamar Chandler.
Alyssa Marie Jean Miller.
Justin Wayne Rowe.
Madison Kendall Berry.
Jacob Brant Snodgrass.
Jackson Sawyer Trey Eaglin.
Brooke Ashlyn Kester.
Lauren Mackenzie Holcomb.
Deja Blue Ruland.
Brandon Lee Gilbert.
Rachel Elizabeth Jones.
Brett Lee Gilbert.
Reagan Emery Foster.
Joseph Don Branscombe.
Christopher Lee Lyles Jr.
Hunter Seth Hilger.
Haley Jade Hendricks.
Raylan Grace Mong.
Isaac Cale Euler.
Michaela James Phipps.
Hayden Holland.
Anastasia Isabel Ramsey.
Hannah Renee Tribble.
Riley Peyton Turner.
Caleb Gage Brown.
Presley Dakota Turner.
Christopher Warren Takansik.
Annabelle Lee Catherman.
Jackson Baird Finnegan.
Abigail Lynn Catherman.
Wyatt Connor Brooks.
Julian Seth Fair.
Kagan Lee Murray.
Hashai Ramon Wesley.
Aaliyah Jasmine Barsh.
Benjamin Matthew Stowell.
Lyric Rochelle Dixon.
Kevin Nicholas Rogal.
Eric Moyer.
Taylor Ray Emery.
Damian Alexander Turner.
Hunter Jeremiah Casey.
Blake Harold Bogart.
Wyatt Joseph Love.
Russell Ethan McCaskey.
Mason Andrew Hamill.
James Kenneth Moran.
Mackenzie Marie Butler.
Dagan Dane Keahi. Say it again. Keahi Hickson. Sorry.
Christina Marie Heyer.
Corbin Bryce Cowan.
Alyssa Monet Allen.
Heaven Lee Don Coble.
Kanan Bryce Stillwell.
Miguel Juan Carlos Palma.
Jennifer Ann Marshall.
Jonathan Lewis Coble.
Caitlin Marie Winters.
Heather Annabelle Carey.
Noah Michael Dazowitz.
Caleb Scott Frazier.
Leah Cheyenne Evans.
Austin James McMath.
Andrew Lee Gosnell.
Elisha Earl Harrigus.
Garrett Thomas Lincoln.
Annabeth Lee Weeby.
Amberly Shay Watson.
Brandon Paul Smith.
Chloe Elise Wallace.
Jeffrey Neal Hubble.
Haley Diane Dixon.
Taylor Marie Milligan.
Courtney Zoe Pitcock.
Lauren Faith Barnes.
Lena Raylyn Gregory.
Chandler Anthony Blake.
Stacia Evelyn Rainey.
Samuel Jacob Kuiper.
Stephen Allen Doris. James Allen Collins. Luke Miguel Carter. And Elizabeth Rebecca Joy Head.
Good evening. Class of 2020, I have missed you, and I am deeply honored to give these remarks this evening. This is the greatest honor that I can receive, to get to address the graduates of this fine institution, the best and the brightest of this wonderful community. And I just wanted you guys to know that I am powerfully honored by your attention this evening. Would you like to hear a story? A mother held her new baby, and we'll call that baby Garrett, the G-Rocket. And she very slowly rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she held Garrett, she sang, "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." The baby grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was 2 years old. Let's call this 2-year-old Hunter H. And he ran all around the house. He pulled all the books off the shelves. He pulled all the food out of the refrigerator. And he took his mother's watch and flushed it down the toilet. Sometimes his mother would say, "This kid is driving me crazy." But at nighttime, when Hunter was quiet, she opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, looked up over the side of his bed, and if Hunter was really asleep, she picked him up and rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked Hunter, she sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." The little boy grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was 9 years old. And we're going to call this 9-year-old Braden. He never wanted to come in for dinner. He never got to his 7th period class on time. He never wanted to take a bath. And when Grandma visited, he always said bad words. Could be that he learned those from his 7th period teacher. Sometimes his mother wanted to sell him to the zoo. But at nighttime, when Braden was asleep, the mother quietly opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, looked up over the side of the bed, and if Braden was really asleep, she picked him up and she rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked Braden, she sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." The boy grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was a teenager. Let's call that teenager Hunter C. He had strange friends, and he wore strange clothes, particularly his fancy sneakers. And he listened to strange music. Sometimes his mother felt like she was in the zoo. But at nighttime, when Hunter was asleep, the mother opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of the bed. If Hunter was really asleep, she picked up that great big boy and rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked Hunter, she sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." Well, that teenager grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was a grown-up man. We'll call that grown-up man Ethan. He left home and got a house across town. But sometimes on dark nights, the mother got into her car and drove across town. If the lights in Ethan's house were out, she opened his bedroom window, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of his bed. Yeah, I know, this is kind of creepy. If Ethan was really asleep, she picked him up and rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked Ethan, she sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." Well, that mother, she got older. She got older and older and older. One day she called up Ethan and said, "You'd better come and see me because I'm old and sick." So Ethan went to see her. And when he came to the door, she tried to sing the song. She sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always." But she couldn't finish because she was too old and sick. So Ethan went to his mother. He picked her up and rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while he rocked his mother, he sang this song. "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my mommy you'll be." When Ethan came home that night, he stood for a long time at the top of the stairs. He went into the room where his very new baby daughter was sleeping. He picked her up in his arms and he very slowly rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while he rocked her, he sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." Friends, I am honored to give these remarks this evening. Usually they are titled "A Final Lesson." Upon further thought, I realized what would be more appropriate is to share some lessons that I have learned from you. They are lessons that come from your hearts. Rachel and Ashley, what I have learned from you is that regardless how bleak the circumstances, never yield to negativity because it robs us of hope. Libby and Tori, your lesson to me is always avoid bitterness and unburden my heart through forgiveness. Presley, Riley, Abigail, and Annabelle, your lesson is this: progress is never easy, but it is always possible. Raylan and Courtney and Haley, your lesson is this: to pursue status, power, and fame is unfulfilling. What matters most is how well we loved. Miguel and Thomas, this is what I've learned from you. When times get tough, we don't give up, we get up. It's not about how hard you fall, it's about how high you bounce. Erica and Victoria, I will take this lesson from you. There are things that you can do that I cannot. There are things that I can do that you cannot. But I am certain that together we can do great things. Sydney and Kylie, your lesson is this: don't focus on what pushes us apart. Concentrate on the dignity of all human beings. Annabeth, this is what I take from you. Darkness can only be scattered by light. Hatred can only be conquered by love. Brandy, Darian, and Deja, your lesson is this: without justice, there can be no peace. Madison and Reagan, I will always remember you for this. Peace begins with a smile. It is the simplest act of love. James, Felicity, and Leah, this is what I've learned from you. Our goal should not be to be a legend in every household. Our goal should be to be a hero in our own home. Kirsten and Wanajiska, you have taught me this: never worry about numbers. Help one person at a time and always start with the person nearest to you. And Brooke, this is your lesson to me. The ultimate test of greatness is the way that you treat every human being. And it might just be that one day you will come across your old history teacher who was too old and too tired and too sick to sing. And you'll have to take him in your arms and rock him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Class of 2020, congratulations and peace be with you. I realize that tonight might be the last time that I get to see several of you. So please remember, you are important. You are loved. And the joy of life is in the journey. Never forget, I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my babies you'll be. Thank you.
Class of 2020, please stand. You may now turn your tassels.
Oh, well, we'll pick it up. Graduates, the way that we always end our ceremony is by singing the Alma Mater. Typically, we have an ensemble of choir students who do that, but because of the split nature of our ceremony, we don't have enough choir members to do that. So I would be honored if you would join me in singing the Alma Mater one last time, after which you are dismissed. So social distance, sway is your preference. Here we go. Charles Page, high forever, and true to her will be. For to our alma mater we owe our loyalty. Our love is always with thee, as onward we will go. Charles Page, high forever, may she live eternally. You are dismissed. Thank you for coming.